Hello from nowhere. I'm Kurt the Gardener. We're high atop Mystic Mountain, deep in the fantastical jungles of the land called Nowhere. And if you've come to join me today and visit with me, I so much appreciate it. Welcome. If you want, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, ring the bell, knock the clown out, and all other iterations and incarnations of those at your disposal that everyone keeps telling us to do in all of these videos. If you want. I'm going to get right into it today. So buckle up. We're going on a ride through the fantastical. The joke is simple. That it's so simple we miss it 100%. We go to such extreme lengths and take radical measures to find what we're looking for, only to realize it was here right in front of us and within us the entire time. It's a joke on us played by the eternal. The universe laughs at us, and we have no choice but to surrender, accept it, and laugh right along with it at ourselves. Because what we seem to be spinning around in circles, blindly, desperately searching for, was here the entire time. I get it now. Resisting shadows and fighting phantoms when all I had to do was realize they were never real to begin with. Through unconscious identification, I have conceptualized the world and all within it, because there were so many concepts, infinite, it seemed, and growing ever more. I couldn't see through, around, or past all or any of the concepts that formed a veil that concealed reality itself from me. I built a prison around myself called the mind, and within this room of the mind, I have lived near all my life. The function called ego was my jailer and warden, a captor I could not see or understand, because to see the ego is not for the eyes, but by knowing it, it is revealed. A guardian that refused to yield and let me live in freedom from suffering. A cruel master that gaslit me to act out its will. The egoic mind can only know the past while gambling with the future, but the present moment escapes it because it is the escape from it. Shackled by ignorance, I am no longer, for now I stand liberated by the light called awareness, that I shine on the darkness within. The ignorance of my plight has dissolved in the illumination. I no longer will be tortured and beaten down by the protector and guardian called ego. Nor will I ever be imprisoned by the concepts that I mistakenly and unknowingly create within the room of the mind ever again. From death I rise and live again. From blindness my eyes are made new. In this life I now stand in the kingdom of God. And now I want to go a little bit deeper. And I want to try to tell you about the unspeakable, the undefinable, but I'm going to try to define it, because that is the first role of the mystic, to demystify the mystic, to shatter the shackles of ignorance and burn down the forest of blindness so that the truth can stand illuminated. And that is where we will find the mystical. Imagine that you are standing inside of a room. You are standing inside of a room that is not unlike any other room, except this room has a magical window as one of the walls. This is the place where past becomes present and present travels to the future, where the dead live again and the living die many times, where your best friend becomes your mortal enemy and your mortal enemy becomes your best friend, where the sky is the limit and the ground stretches on to eternity. This is the room of the mind. Except for the window wall, all of the walls, the ceiling, and the floor are all painted pitch black. When you look out of this window wall, you will see the outside world. And from within the room of the mind, you will experience the outside world of the external. As you look out of that window, concepts are conjured forth by ego as a screen-like filter across the window wall. This screen becomes as a fog made of concepts, also fills the room of the mind, swallowing and enveloping you within the filter of the ego. Everything you see through this fantastical window and experience through this egoic fog is filtered. It is not as it really is as a result. It is a veil made of concepts and illusions. This is the egoic mind, or ego-dominated mind. Most, if not all of us, have lived our entire lives unknowingly and unconsciously in this bondage. The kingdom of God lies beyond it. The kingdom of God lies in the unfiltered. The kingdom of God can only be entered by those who can shatter the conceptual veil that is the window wall of pure illusion. For the kingdom must be taken by force. The ego can only know the past while gambling with the future, but the present now escapes it, because the present is the escape from it. The present is the gate to the kingdom of God. Being held captive within the room of the mind, trapped beyond the wall of conceptual illusion, is our fate when we identify the concepts within the mind as what is real and what is, and as things are. Being imprisoned is our fate when we identify the ego and what it shows us and filters to us as what is real and who we are and who they are therein, and what should or shouldn't be done, or how we should feel or act, or that great danger lies in wait for us in the future, or so and so is this or that, or even out to get us, or happiness is at some point in the future, but it is not here, it is in the future. Listen to me, the ego, as I tell it to you. Or things were better or worse in the past, or I want this or that, so I need to formulate a plan to acquire it at all costs, or I will never have what I want or the happiness I seek that is in the future. All of this is what the unreformed ego does to and with us. And there is so much more I can say, but we just need to concern ourselves not with the details, descriptors, adjectives, and intellectual components, but the mechanics of how the ego works and does this. Thoughts that you didn't bring about concerning past or future, wants or needs, threats and fears, success or failure, what ifs and ifs, things that can only happen under certain conditions in the future, things that happened in the past. These are the mechanics of the ego. You fill in the blanks, but that's the rough idea. The kingdom of God is and has always been within and in your midst. This is the blueprint. Now build, be builders of the kingdom. I'm Kurt the Gardener, and if you've just stuck with me these 9-10 minutes, I want to say thank you. And I want to say how wonderful and great it is that we can be out in nature sometimes. How beautiful it really is. I'm Kurt the Gardener, and I want to remind you that you are always welcome here in Nowhere Have a good day.